Now, ladies and gentlemen, coming up next, we're going to hear from someone who's a very influential person building in the space since 2011. You know, I work in security operations in the world of crypto, and we need a lot of very highly developed tools to help us understand the blockchain, check for transactions and all that. And there's one place that I go to check all of this, and that is none other than Etherscan. So ladies and gentlemen, from Etherscan, let's put our hands together and welcome the CEO and founder, Mr. Matthew Tan. Ladies and gentlemen, this man built Etherscan. Let's go.
Thank you, Ross.
You're very welcome.
All right. Good morning, everyone. My name is Matthew, and I'm the CEO and founder of Etherscan. So Etherscan is one of the longest and oldest public independent project built around Ethereum and for Ethereum. It is built by Malaysians and out of Malaysia. And it only makes sense that we're also one of the longest, strongest, and steadfast supporter of the local ETHKL movement. So ETHKL is all about the community and the values that Ethereum embodies. Their goal has always been to build a community of learning, sharing, and also to introduce the various Web3 stacks, but while still maintaining a unique Malaysian identity of humility, harmony, and diversity. So my own crypto journey started right here in KL, or as Ross wants to point out, it was actually in Kotak Muning, Malaysia in 2011. So it's been 12 years, right? So nothing too fancy. So I was surfing online, and I came across this, if I recall correctly, this Hacker News article that talked about Bitcoin. So that kind of got me intrigued. I started researching it more. And the more I looked at it, the deeper I got into the rabbit hole. So now, the very early days of the crypto community in Malaysia, let's just call that the 2013 to 2015, the pre-Ethereum era, pre-ETH era, right? Started with very small informal gatherings with folks normally meeting after work or on the weekends. So, and getting together at mamaks, kopitiams, coffee shops, cafes, and just about any makan or what we call eatery places to talk about crypto and to share their passion. A much smaller crowd back then. And if you ask me back then, looking at today's larger gathering of like-minded Web3 folks, it's amazing how much we've grown. I was always fascinated by the concept of smart contracts. And in 2014, I worked on building the early versions of token-based Bitcoin explorers. But it was difficult back then because Bitcoin really wasn't ready for smart contracts. And the real game changer, that came in 2015. Boom! The Ethereum network was launched. I was excited, and I felt like I wanted to play a part, no matter how small it was, in supporting the community and ecosystem. But I obviously could not do it alone. And along the way, I found other like-minded folks to join me on this journey, who today make up the team at Etherscan. So I think deep down on a personal level, we also wanted to show that as Malaysians, we could build global products. Now, I think if this was outside of Web3, this would have been a much more difficult task, building it out just of KL as opposed to somewhere in Silicon Valley. But because we're building on Ethereum and Web3, where the access to data and ownership is decentralized, This is not a blocker anymore. It's an equal playing field. Together with other companies building out of Malaysia and the many others here today, right? We've shown that it is possible to build robust products out of Malaysia. So anyway, coming back, so the idea of ETHKL was actually thrown about in 2018, and like-minded folks like Harit and the OG team back then put together the first ETHKL meetup. So that first inaugural ETHKL meetup was done in 2018. Yeah, you can see Harit there, which I had the opportunity to participate in. It was smaller, but with an equally passionate group of like-minded folks. And fast forward 5 years later today, with more than 150 events organized, and just looking around at today's crowd, for ETHKL's first major global conference and hackathon, we have indeed come a very long way. So wrapping up, lastly, a special shout out again to the ETHKL community and organizers for their hard work and dedication in putting together this Ethereum non-profit event, and all the amazing speakers, sponsors, and the Ethereum Foundation for their support. So over the next 2 days, I hope everyone here has an awesome time, not only learning about Ethereum and Web3, but to also take this opportunity to network and engage with like-minded individuals. I say Malaysia boleh to my fellow Malaysians, and for those visiting Malaysia, selamat datang. Take it easy, chillax, and enjoy yourself over the 2 tracks for the few days. Thank you. So one last point. Whoever wants like cookies that look like this, right? Please find for my colleague over there. So we have about 100 of these left. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for Mr. Matthew Tan.